What's up,
What's going on, cuz? How you feeling, sir?
Man, I am great, man. Learning to be extra grateful, man. How about
Man,
you, Dan?
man, you and me both, man. I'm so much trying to work on myself, man. I don't even I'm trying not to even tune into the outside world, what's going on with other people, baby. You
Right.
know what I'm saying?
I feel you, man. All right, so we got a great one today. Stick around. We're going to make it happen. Let's go.
Cal and Dave Jones are the hosts of the show. We living in some difficult times, as most of us know. Let's lift each other up and put down the stress. If you didn't know, the name of the show is called Rap.
All right, so this is what we're going to do today. We're going to use a recent story that's in society to paint a picture for us. It's kind of graphic. It was the shooting of the young lady who shot the guy who tried to rob her, steal her gun in actuality. So we want to show it. But I just also want to give a present before we start to kind of let you know our God is kind of shifting us and the voice that we're supposed to have here. Like the genre of this podcast, the title is, willingly responding as people should. And so our only assignment is to kind of take principles from what we think God has given us that will help us fight life and the things that's coming against life that the world is showing us. And so the genre that we're selecting is faith and society, right? There's one called society and culture, but we're going to go faith and society because, the way the world is moving us, we're baking these concepts that are causing us to really kill each other, have these anxieties and stress and really not really enjoy life. And so we're going to use this particular graphic as almost like, again, to paint the canvas. And we're going to talk to the men specifically on this one. And let's just jump in and take a look at this story. It's kind of graphic, as you can see on the screen. So if you can't handle graphic, probably don't want to watch. Here we go. Right. So jump in. For those you don't know, this young man is about to try to rob this young lady.
I'm sorry. You got me. Okay. Dang, you shot me for real. Damn, baby, I'm sorry. Okay.
Let's go right now.
Okay, I'm sorry. Damn, baby.
Now you gonna tell me it's for the jail.
Damn, I'm sorry.
So we can stop it right there. So what we just seen, for those who haven't seen it, this was here actually an undercover cop that was basically diffusing the situation. Was like 4 guys there. Anyway, this guy stuck around, so he knew that she had a gun, and in his mind, he's seeing her as basically, I'm just going to take over and rob this young lady. So he was going to rob her of the gun that she had, and it's probably hard for us to hear, but his intent was, he told her, he's like, I told you I'm going to take this gun from you. And I want to get into particulars of what they said because I want to screw it up. But she reminded him of the warning that she gave him, like, I will kill you if you try to do that. And as you can see, she was almost like had to turn into a whole other person where she had to kill this man to protect herself, to defend herself, because who knows? He was already about to take her gun. He could have been in process to kill her. And right. And so what I think we want to target today is the blatant disregard and disrespect of a man to, in any capacity, try to use his dominance as what's in his body, his physical nature, to overpower a woman and take advantage of her, to literally try to potentially kill her, rob from her, take from her. And in this case, it backfired. But I think today we want to talk about this, because everybody ain't got, all men don't have this problem to go this deep, but we all got it at some level where the world has told us how to perceive women and as competition, as something that we don't have to respect or regard. So we want to talk about basically how do we need to respond in situations where how we perceive, the world has taught us to perceive our women. So if you want to jump up in there, Cal, kind of give me your thoughts on this whole situation.
Yeah, can you take that off the screen?
Yes, sir.
So yeah, man, that's deep, man, because I see a lot of that today in today's society, man. I see videos and I see stuff surfacing. I'm even out here in the streets, man. I see stuff that's weird, and I just don't feel like the men standing up for women like they used to do when we was coming up, man. It was a certain, a certain respect that we made sure that men have for women, and the old heads, you know what I'm saying, that I come up under, and people who taught me, you know, they wouldn't allow and stand for different disrespect when it came to how men talked to and treated women out in the public, whether they knew the woman or not. And in today's society, I just feel like men just kind of go along with, you know what I'm saying, whatever they feel like is cool, just because they don't have, you know what I'm saying, the backbone to say, you know what, this ain't right and I ain't standing for it. So, you know, I even be seeing a lot of little small videos around the city where, you know, guys and women about to go toe to toe, you know, and all up in each other's face and about to fight, you know. So it's got so bad, man, to where, you know, a lot of these women do have that stronghold or that mentality to where they don't believe a man got their back, and they really got to have that tough skin on, you know, like a man when they go out here in the public. And, you know, we think a lot of these women are evil when we trying to speak to them because, you know, they got to have their guard up. So, you know, they like, oh, they stuck up, or a woman wonder why she ain't got a man. Because when you talk to them, they want, but then you have situations where a woman think a man trying to talk to them, and they let them get close. The next thing you know, they whip out a burner and rob her. You know what I'm saying? Whip out a gun and rob her. So it's like, you know, your guard got to be up at all times nowadays, where you can't even let people get close to you because you don't know what they own, especially when it comes to being a woman. So, you know, this is a good topic, man. And I think this is a great one for us to touch on, because I think it's a lot of respect being lost. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's why I want to ask you, what do you think? Because we got to get to the root of this. Where do you think this competitive friction, like, how do you think it got into most men? If I'm saying, where do you think it comes from?
Man, if you want to be honest, man, I think it go way back, man. You know what I'm saying? I think it go from, you know, it go all the way back to us, you know what I'm saying, as far as brothers just not being, you know, happy for other brothers, the whole jealousy thing that I think going on today's society with, you know what I'm saying, with brothers when it go back to the days of slavery. Because, you know, just like if you think about, you know, the system and how it's set up, you know, if a woman have a baby by a man, you know, the state or the government will tell you, we'll help you take care of this child, or we'll help support you long as a man ain't in the house, and long as you're willing to put this man on child support. So I think it goes so deep back to me, man, to where how it's systematically done, to where it's putting us against each other, to where it's deeper than just saying, I think today in today's society, the woman doing so good that the man can't handle it, and the roles in reverse. You know, I think it's so much deeper than that. You know what I'm saying? That's a conversation too, far as what we could talk about, far as, you know, it's like this competitive competition thing going on with the man and the woman, where they got the same mentality. But if you want to ask me where I think it came from, I think it come from men dropping the ball, you know what I'm saying, not being men, women trying to give men a chance, and the man not stepping up, and he giving a woman, you know what I'm saying, quote unquote, his ass to kiss, to a woman back against the wall, and then she got to take a different route, which is go to the system, let a man know, oh, you gonna pay, for you know it, you know, you got, you know, this thing going on where it's a feud, where it's me against you instead of it's us, you know what I'm saying, looking out for each other as a whole. So we could touch on a few different topics as to how I feel like, you know, it's messed up.
I think that's good, bro. All of them, I think, attribute to it, you know, obviously, because principle wise, you know what I'm saying, because it's always what's the right answer. It's always we always going to say there's the law of polarity. There's always, you know what I'm saying, the right way and the wrong way, the optimistic way, the pessimistic way. Like, and so on the wrong way we can see as a result of death here is competitive competition, division, disregard, malice, is the things that you've seen in this particular video, and some of the behaviors that we all have had at some point in our life when we had some selfish motive, and to take from a woman, to lust from a woman, to pull what we need and disregard what they need. Like, that is the opposite of the principle of protect. Like the scriptures that are in the Bible that tells us about how we particularly supposed to work with women. They most talk about wives, which is the highest level of the relationship with the man and the woman, but it always talks about to protect her, to guide her, to cover her as the stronger vessel, right? And that causes what? The family to work together for synergy, for growth, to pour into your kids together, to train them, to give them good examples, to cause the less division, the less stress with the child raising up by looking at people who honor and love each other, and that can carry on generation to generation. So we see the principle of love and respect, how it can affect us positively, but somehow the enemy, through people or through ideas, like you said, bro, I love it, through the oppression, however it got here, and systematic thoughts of you guys are, oh my goodness.
He said he got something to say too, baby.
That's the first
He going in on this topic, baby.
Okay,
About these women, huh?
The dog came out like.
Oh, man.
Let me shut him up. Go ahead and take over, bro. Take over.
Man,
sorry, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so what's going? So yeah, so what I think is going on, man, is like it's been a situation where the woman, you know what I'm saying, been put against the man from the man dropping the ball, and a woman being forced to have to do what she have to do, being she got to be the man and the woman in the house when it comes to raising kids, to where I think it's such a big respect has been lost from with the woman when it comes to the man from us just dropping the ball. You know what I'm saying? Now, am I saying all men? No, because I know a lot of us men just step up and we do what men got to do because that's what we know and we've been taught. You know, that a lot of us that didn't have men in the house to actually show us what a man's supposed to be or guide us and give us the blueprint of how a man's supposed to operate and the do's and don'ts, you know, opening the door for a woman, you know what I'm saying, being polite, making sure she don't get disrespected, so on and so forth. Then when you raise with a woman in a household and all you have coming up in the household is woman ways, then as a man you develop those woman ways. Then you go out here in the world, and if you used to not having a man ruin with an iron fist around your house, and all you used to is your mama or a woman telling you what to do or showing you what it's like to be an adult, then you take on some of them feminine ways. You know what I'm saying? So then if you're not a respectful man, like if you lose respect for your mother as you coming up, then the same arguments or disrespect you have for your mother leaving out the house when you become a young adult is the same, you know, tactics that you take out here in the world and you use to deal with the women you actually come in contact with.
Yeah, that was good. Let me join and say that too. I think, like you say, you looking at the examine of these single, because the women, they doing their thing, they handle the responsibilities, and you pointed out, you know, the ways that they may pick up as a man watching this mother, but also there is also training when the man is not there. The fact that it is the training that you're not supposed to regard the woman as somebody you protect and hold. The fact that they're not there, you know what I'm saying? You looking, there's the absence of a man. So that psychology is, or philosophy is taken in the world. Like, you don't have to stay around. You know what I'm saying? It was indirect training. And if you don't have to stay around, you don't have to cover, you don't have to protect. Well, the opposite of protecting, covering, and camaraderie is competition. And so innately, if you're bastarded by your father in this particular case, like you're setting such an example to in an extreme state that this is where we are. This is why men, we got to do better. Like the stuff that we're doing when we disregard women, it causes so many domino effects that we got to learn how to respond correctly. The way that the world has showed us to operate and to compete and to get what we want and take out of a relationship. Even those of us who are in relationship that are married, we still have to audit ourselves to see how much of it is selfish motivation. How much is are we covering our woman and meeting them where they are in areas of our own life. So we all are not just disregarded as the one who think we exempt rather from this type of stuff. Ours may not be extreme, but the world has sold us competition, and that don't work. We have to see our women differently. And just like we need them to cover our weaknesses, because I need my wife to cover my weaknesses. I'm sorry. We need to cover them in their weaknesses and not blame them for what they don't do right. Just like we don't want them to blame us for what we're struggling through. But that thought process is just really killing the family.
Yeah, that was good, man. Because I think, you know, if you take time to just, you know what I'm saying, like I was talking to you in the beginning of the podcast, if you take time to just work on, you know what I'm saying, yourself and look at, you know what I'm saying, your past situations and things you did wrong and just see where you need help at or things you need to work on, it's easy to, you know what I'm saying, be more understanding to being more protecting, loving, and you know, respectful of the other party. So, you know, if you're not working on yourself, then it's easy to look at another person to see, you know, what they need to be doing or what they ain't doing to have some type of anger or to have some type of frustration to where you're not giving them what they need because you really don't want to face your own demons. So
Yeah.
I think that's good because, you know, if men take time, you know what I'm saying, to really just work on themselves, you know, they could say, you know, at the end of the day, I'm a man, I'm the strongest vessel. I'm not in competition with no woman. I don't have to, you know, prove nothing to no woman and try to show her that I'm stronger or that I'm getting more money than her or it's a competition. You know, whether you know a woman or not, when you go out here in the world, you know what I'm saying, it's nothing wrong with, you know, opening the door for a woman or, you know what I'm saying, or things of that nature, because at the end of the day, whether they say thank you or not, you doing what you standing on what you was taught. You standing on what you believe on. You standing on what it take you to feel like you a man. You know what I'm saying? You're not worried about how many doors you opened in the past 10 days and women didn't say thank you. You want to stop opening doors because, oh, these women ain't grateful. These women this, and I'm sick of these women that, you know, you just got to keep being you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that come from like just standing on like just real man stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I just think, you know, for all of us, we have to realize the point of these principles, you know, to cover the woman, it's really for our benefit as well. Like the power of synergy, the power of a team of two people, you know what I'm saying, working on anything. We miss out on so much. Like if the world is teaching us to be competitive through all those things you talk about, some systematic oppressions, right? Those systems that are in the world, whether it birthed, especially in the African-American community, in slavery, where they divided us and made us compete, not only with the wives, but with each other. That's why sometimes it's hard for men to get along, because we were separated and that was ingrained in us in slavery. We were cultivated, you know what I'm saying? Like crops. That's where that part of our culture of this crab in the barrel comes from. We were cultivated to be separatists. And when somebody is doing well, it takes away from us. And so we went through our struggle of oppression for 400 years in isolation, where we wasn't going through with a family member because your family member was sold. So that same, you know what I'm saying, mindset or philosophy or ideology has worked itself out in our behavior inside of our culture in particular, you know what I'm saying? And it's causing us to have division, and we're missing out on so much life, and we struggling in isolation to figure it out all by ourselves. And the person that God has put next to us to help us, not only, you know what I'm saying, for reproduction of a family, but to catch us in our weak spots, to allow us to be vulnerable and be transparent when we out hustling in the world, because and the world is beating us up and fighting us. When we come home, we're supposed to be in a position where we can let our guard down, where we can say, this is what I'm going through. But we're going to talk about this, the ladies too. I'm a boss chick, or I'm this, I don't need no man. These mindsets are just, they're ridiculous. It's a societal concept that makes no sense. And anybody that you've ever talked to that want to be the boss woman, boss girl, and they bought into that bug, and for right reason, for some of them, it's easy to buy in because the man hasn't come up to their part and the competition has been there. That doesn't work. And so when we talk about faith in society, it's like you can get with this or you can get with that. When we rocking with society, bro, it's killing us. Like it causes that kind of foolishness. There's no way if you was operating on principle about the synergy and the maximization of relationships that will be an outcome. It's only opportunity and bliss. So
that's good, man. And you know what? And I feel the whole boss chick, boss woman thing. You know what I'm saying? And when it comes to the world, because sometimes you got to take that mentality on just to get out here and go at this world and be productive and actually, you know what I'm saying, see yourself bring some things to pass and just be that entrepreneur you want to be. But when it comes to relationships and having a husband or a man or anything you want to work towards, when it comes to companionship, you got to be able to go home and lay that down. You know what I'm saying? Put that down and be able to, you know what I'm saying, soften yourself and understand the role as a woman. Because, you know, when you go out here in the world and you handling the business and you getting money and y'all might be a power couple, the man doing his thing, the woman doing her thing, y'all might have separate entities where y'all have separate businesses and y'all both might be at that money and getting the bag. That's cool. But at some point when y'all come together, you know what I'm saying, in y'all personal time, y'all got to be able to humble yourselves and make sure y'all understand y'all roles when it comes to keeping each other going, because the money only going to take y'all so far before y'all have a head-on collision. Because if everybody got this boss mentality and can't nobody humble themselves for one or another, then it's going to get to the point where the woman going to feel like she don't need a go-getting man, you know what I'm saying, or a man that feel like he a leader, and vice versa. The man going to feel like I don't need a woman that's, you know what I'm saying, a go-getter if it's going to lead to me having to go home and feel like I got to answer to a woman that thinks she running everything. So at some point, it's just about keeping God at the head of your life to where you can have humility. You know what I'm saying? You can humble yourself in the right situations, because when you out here in the world, you know what I'm saying, that works some.
Right. I want to jump in, and he's probably going to jump here back here in a second and give clarity when I said I wanted to get clarity on that boss chick stuff. Now, again, I am with you. I want my wife, because she works in the financial industry, to go out, create money, hustle, grind, maintain that reality. But there's also other connotations that go with the term. You know what I'm saying? Boss chick. The part that I love the grind. I love but I don't like the competition. I don't need no man. Like that's connected to the boss chick. Like that is never supposed to be the concept. You know what I'm saying? You have financial gifts and capacity to produce, but it's never, oh, I'm gonna do this, and the only reason I'm doing this is because I don't need a man. Like that part of the picture has to be eradicated. Like we got to get rid of that.
Okay, now you know how we bounce off each other, and
I love it.
You take one side, I'll take one side. So speaking for my women, man, you know what I'm saying? Because I got a lot of hope and I got a lot of love for our women, man. Yeah. You know, that's the mentality that has been created. That comes from hurt. That comes from disappointment. That comes from failure, being failed. You know what I'm saying? Anytime you have a woman running around and she taking on that mentality and she throwing that out there, that come from her giving herself to a man. That come from her trying to love. And that come from her being hurt so deep that she's scared to try. She's scared to love, to where she got to keep that guard and that shield up. And this is a persona she has to put up to make herself feel like, hey, I don't need a man, and to guard herself. You know what I'm saying? And so when you can identify with that and understand where that come from, then you can get it. But so what a woman like that has to do is she got to pray, man. She got to ask God to, you know, help heal her heart. You know what I'm saying? Ask God to send her the right man, because a lot of these men, you know, a lot of my fellas used to laugh at me back in the day because they used to say, Cal, get all the girls with the girls. So I used to always either pull a girl with a bunch of cousins, a bunch of friends, and they would always ask me, you know, like, what's up with your boys and this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? For years, I used to be like telling my boys, man, y'all never get no girls with no girls. This story gonna lead to something. So I used to be like, you know, what's up with that? You know what I'm saying? But when they used to always ask me, do I got boys? I knew it was an instant. Do I have any boys? I knew it was an instant, you know, looking at me, or the type of way they felt like I carried myself, to where they want to know if there's some guys around me like me that they could hook up with. You know what I'm saying? So in doing so, and you watch situations go bold, then you understand how women get to a point where situations fall down. They get in situations where things don't work out for them, and they feel like they've been failed, to where they scared to love. You know what I'm saying? So, and they scared to try, because they go through these relationships, guys drop the ball on them. They feel like, you know, what's the point in loving when these guys ain't gonna be real about what it is they trying to do? So when it comes to our women, man, we just gotta pray for them, man, and they gotta get to a point where, and I used to tell a lot of the women, man, a lot of these women are failing in relationships because really they don't know what type of man to really look for. They don't know what to look for in a man. They be thinking it ain't no good man out here, but some of them just don't know the qualities. They looking for the wrong guy. So they thinking that, oh man, I'm just gonna put this guard up to where I'm not gonna look for a man, and I'm straight on a man. These men ain't this and these men ain't that. When really they have to reprogram the type of man they looking for, because they ideal style, or you know what I'm saying, their perception of the type of man they want, they just don't understand what they looking for, so they picking the wrong thing. You know, so a lot of that ain't the fact that it ain't none out here. They just looking in the wrong places, and they looking for the wrong qualities, you know, because you could pass, like I tell a woman, a lot of times you passing by a good man because he looking all dirty, you know what I'm saying, and he looking grimy, but that's the one that's out here working hard to get it. Then you see him somewhere out, you know what I'm saying, at a club or something, and you know he look familiar, but you don't remember where you know him from because you used to seeing him dirty. But that's that same guy that clean up well that you've been looking past, that's really getting to the money, because he ain't out here trying to look good every day, perping like he got money. You know what I'm saying? And ain't really got it going on. So a lot of it is, you know, hurt, man, with our women, and they just gotta take time, and they gotta hand that hurt over to God, and they gotta pray and get in their personal place where they get a personal relationship with God, and ask God to show them where they looking at wrong first, where they looking in the wrong place for is one, and then ask God to send them a good man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, that's all good, man. Like, and you said it on the head. We do need to pray for our women, and I do pray for our women because there is a battle, there is a struggle again from just all these spiritual ideas that are negative, right? Of what's wrong and that cause the hurt, that cause the pain on both sides. Even with the men, I empathize even with the man for feeling lesser than because the world has told him that you want nothing, that kind of kicked you out and kind of disregarded you, and train the fathers not to be around, and you in this whole world trying to figure it out from scratch with no example, right? And that world is not patient with you. Matter of fact, it wants to condescend and take advantage of you. So all of us have a justifiable reason that we are in the hurt that we're in that cause us to act out like we act. And there is not a lack of empathy here, but how do we respond, right? How do we willingly take our will to see the situation that this has systematically got me here and the enemy has won with this societal concepts of what life is and how do we love each other, build life, and create things that are in our imagination. And when those things are all abnormally, put together, or dysfunction is caused us to have the wrong ideology, we act out negatively. And so empathy is there. But our assignment here is to just talk through these issues, and we see the height of the consequence. How do we get to the root? The root is, go ahead.
I'm glad you asked that question. I actually want to answer that question.
Good. Knock it
out. I think we need to take it back to the old school, man. I think we need to get back to the point where, you know what I'm saying, whether you're a married man or not, you know what I'm saying, I think we just need to start showing, respect for women. Like I say, opening doors. You see an older lady, you know what I'm saying, coming out the grocery store. I think we need to get back to the point of taking a second out. You know what I'm saying? What is going to set you back? 5 minutes? Ma'am, you need some help loading those groceries. We got to start helping and making our women feel safe. Because just like that situation we seen in Chicago with this woman, with this man trying to take this gun from her, not too long ago, like 3 weeks ago, we had a situation, 3 weeks prior to this incident, we had a situation in Detroit where a guy walked up to a lady in the party store and straight shot her, killed her, and took her car. So this is not something that's just happening in some states. This is a disrespect and a situation where women have no faith in feeling like they're safe around men all over the world. So I think we just got to get back one man at a time and get into a place where we can make our women feel safe. You know what I'm saying? We just got to start being more, you know what I'm saying, courteous. You know what I'm saying? Speaking to them. How you doing today, ma'am? You know what I'm saying? Because it's a way to speak to a woman without her feeling like you're trying to come on to her. You know what I'm saying? You can route the hate.
Can I jump in there though? Because because I love this practical response. Right. Start with being courteous, right? You know what I'm saying? It gives you a regard to see them how you're supposed to see them. But you know what I'm saying? Like so most time when women have that guard up, it's because most time when we help a woman, it's because we want something from them. We got to kill that. Go help the woman that you don't want nothing from. The older lady, the one you're not attracted to, the one that's actually going through something. And when you're helping, there is no, I'm going to get something from this. And put that with our courtesy. Open the door for anybody that is a woman that needs help or needs some type of love, or like you're saying, that needs to show that the men actually care about them. You know what I'm saying? They can step in and do something. That just does something. I'm gonna turn mine up. That would just do something to our character and our mindset. I love that, bro. I love it.
Yeah. And so I think that's what we got to get back to, man. We just got to get back to making our women feel safe, man. I'll be seeing some of my cats let wives and girlfriends out. You know what I'm saying? I speak to them. A lot of times they don't even know. I'll make sure they get to the car safe. You know what I'm saying? I say, how you doing? Tell my brother I say hi. You know what I'm saying? Love you, sis. You know, we got to put our women in a situation where they feel like it's no hidden agenda. It's no motive. We got to put them in a position where they feel like, it's some real men out here, you know what I'm saying, that's actually really standing up for trying to be right by our women and looking over them. You know what I'm saying? We got a group here, man. My man, I forget the name up. They out here doing some big things. I forget, man. I want to give them a shout out.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, I forget, man. But they, I've been seeing them. I actually, Zig, I forgot my man's name, but yeah, they out here doing some things, policing the gas stations and stores and making sure our women getting, you know what I'm saying, getting home safe and pumping gas safe. and different things, man. But it just need to be more than just a group of men doing this. You know what I'm saying? We just need to do it as individuals. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Because and this is the last thing I'm gonna say about this.
Your volume dropped out for some reason.
Huh? Can you hear me? It
Your
dropped.
volume dropped out. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, did it? You know, so I'm trying to come against this fire we bringing them. Can you hear me? I think they can hear me, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Our signal is bad, but I don't assume that it's most men who are totally disrespectful as the example that we showed today. But what I do want to say is we have, those of us who have respect for women, we have to do our part and step up. And it's the people who are the loudest that get the most attention, and most attention is getting to the people who are obviously the news want to show these negative things. We're showing it so we can learn from it and we can build from it. So at the end of the day, we have to do our part to voice our opinion, and that's one of the concepts that we're working here with this podcast. You know, again, I'm gonna say this a lot, and I want this to get into our brains. Nelson Mandela said, "Fools multiply when wise men are silent." And the more of us men, in this particular case, about covering and protecting our women, the more of us men are silent about these type of things that are going on in our behavior, the more this type of behavior will persist. So willingly responding as people should. This is rap. We're talking faith and society. We're going to go into the world, look at all this chaos that's out there, and not just talk about it as something that we can record and talk mess about, ooh, this bad, but what's the bottom line? What's the root in there? What's causing us to act in this way? It's the systematic or the systems of oppression which embed these terrible ideologies, which are most cases opposite of what the principles are of how to live, how to advance. It's a wrap on this one today. Come next week, Wednesday, 10 o'clock. We're going to talk about men and the power of the sex, right? And how it's causing a lot of us to break up our homes, and it's an addiction. And this was Cal's topic because he has a lot of conversation with men, and they talking about we need to talk about how this is really a struggle for us, and how do we get over this concept. And want to give you some tools and some concepts so we can work through this stuff together and start loving each other and start getting back to the rightful kings, men of God, and just great people that we're supposed to be. All right, it's a wrap. Love you guys. We'll see you on the next one, Wednesday, 10 o'clock.
Cal and Dave Jones are the hosts of the show. We living in some difficult times, as most of us know. Let's lift each other up and put down the straps. If you didn't know, the name of the show is called Rap.